Hi everyone, today we're going to continue working with percents, but today we're going to have word problems. We are going to use the same sentence and proportion that we were practicing Tuesday in class. Our sentence is, part is percent of whole. And we want to remember that part goes with is. Our percent, that one's the easy one, and then of goes with whole. And we want to remember the proportion that we set up, part over whole equals percent over 100. We're going to use this a lot today, and hopefully we are familiar and comfortable with that from today in class. First word problem. A student earned a grade of 80% on a math test that had 20 problems. How many problems does a student answer correctly? So let's go back through and look at our numbers and label those. 80 is talking about a percent. Like we said, that's always the easiest one. We have the percent symbol there. And 20. We need to decide if 20 is the part or the whole. And I want you to ask yourself, did the test total have 20 problems, or did the student answer part of the problems correctly and the part they answered correct was 20? Well, if we read it, the math test had 20 problems. So the whole math test was 20 problems. So we know that 20 problems is the whole. How many did the student answer correctly? The part the student answered correct is our missing piece of information. And that is our part. So we are going to set up our same proportion, part over whole equals percent over 100, and we labeled all of our information. So our part, that's what was missing, there's our variable, over whole, the whole test was 20 problems, and our percent was 80, always over 100. We're going to cross multiply. Before we do that, we can simplify. Divide by 10 in the numerator and denominator. 10 times x, 10x. 20 times 8, 2 times 8 is 16. Add your 0 and divide by 10. We can again use our shortcut, and this becomes a pretty easy problem. 10 cancels out. Divide by 10 in the numerator and denominator. And x equals 16. We want to make sure we have our units since we are doing a word problem. 16 problems correct. So of the test with 20 problems, this student earned an 80%, which means they got 16 problems correct. Let's go ahead and look at another one. Number 2, there are 36 carpenters in a crew. On a certain day, 27 were present. What percent showed up for work? Well, here we see the word percent, and that's our missing piece of information. So we don't know our percent. Now we have 36 and 27. We need to decide which one's the part and which one's the whole. Well, if we think of what is a whole crew, we know that 36 carpenters on a crew, that's the whole. And on this day, part of the crew showed up, and the part that showed up is 27 workers. So we have our part, our whole, and our percent is missing. And let's go ahead and use the exact same formula we've been using. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Our part is 27. Whole, 36. Our percent is what is missing, x over 100. Cross multiply, 36x equals 27 times 100. Divide by 36. And again, you're welcome to use calculators for this part to get your final answer. And when we divide 2,700 by 36, we get 75. So x equals 75. And this was, we were finding the percent, so it is 75% of the workers were present. Pause there for a sec, make sure you can get caught up on your notes. Okay, and let's do the last one. About 58% of your body is water. There's our percent, so I'm going to label that. If you weigh 140 pounds, how many pounds of water is in your body? So we have our percent. Is 140 your whole weight or part of your weight? Well, it says that you weigh 140 pounds, so that would be your whole weight is 140. And how many pounds of water? Well, your whole body isn't water. We do have other things, so we know that what is missing is our part. And guess what? We're using the same equation. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Part is missing. There's our variable. Whole, 140, equals percent, 58 over 100. Cross multiply. You should be getting pretty good at these steps. 140 times 58. Again, you're welcome to use a calculator for these, but show all of your steps. $140 times 58 equals 8,120. 8,120. We're dividing by 100. And our answer is 81.2%. Or not percent, I'm sorry. 81.2 pounds of water. So if you weigh around 140 pounds, there's about 81 pounds of water in your body. That is a lot of water. That is all of our notes for today. Go ahead and try the problems on your own, and I will see you tomorrow.